What is up, everyone? It's Special Game 75 here today to play the Invisible Man Stealth NTR. Alright, here we are. The Invisible Man Stealth NTR, convincing and inseminating the new announcer with an invisible boner. Oh god, what a game. But anyways, let's get started. For a pretty long time, I've been making a living as a day laborer. I wonder how long it's been now. A day laborer is exactly what it sounds like. You work by the day and have a short contract period. I'm registered at a bunch of dispatch companies all over the place. When I was young, I worked at a small company for low pay. It was so-called steady job. But around that time, I was cheated by a nasty woman. She was pretty much my first love, and even though I was seriously thinking about marriage, she used me up and took me for all I had. Not only women, but I also lost the ability to trust people in general. Come to think of it, I had been used to abused by both women and men for as long as I can remember. And the result, all the ill feelings that had mounted up exploded, and I couldn't work anymore. I ended up becoming a shut-in, and my heart was in tatters. I had an employment gap that companies didn't consider favorable, but I worked hard to find another job. However, I had lost the will to work a fixed 9 to 5 schedule. Oof, a typical schedule that most Americans are working at. After that, I went from being a contract worker to registering at dispatch companies with even shorter contracts. Now I don't have a set schedule and work a few days a week. By economizing and living in a run-down apartment, an inconvenient area, drinking tap water, and eating the same old cheap food, I can live a life befitting of a day laborer. Sheesh, tap water? I won't even drink that. But there's a woman who I really admire. I have one foot in grave, but just looking at her gave me the will to live again. In other words, I was someone with no goals or dreams. I was just treading water through life, but now I have someone to live for. The news anchor Yuki Kano. The beautiful anchor recently started working at a major station, and although everyone fawns over her, she is rare unless she doesn't pander to men or flaunt her beauty. She naturally takes no part in scandals, even declares that she is a virgin on television. If I'm going to describe her as smart, serious, pure, meticulous, and stylish, I would also have to measure her innocence. Every part of her is amazing to me. Yuki, she's really going all out. Watch her read the news is given, but have also found myself tuning in when she appears on variety shows. I'm really into watching her on TV. I was never a big TV watcher. I was sometimes watching to kill time, but I was never that enthused about TV when I was a kid. I was depressed for decades, not just when there was a tragedy or something, but Yuki brought me out of my slump. I'm old enough to be her father, and she is way out of my league. But the fact that she isn't lovesick doesn't get sidetracked by men, and work hard is wonderful. With each passing day, I have become more obsessed with her. I am more disciplined than a fan, and my feelings for her are almost as spiritual. By the way, there was some internet talk show today that aired a video of an interview with Yuki. Loathsome, loathsome. That is something I've never heard of. Loathsome. Okay. Yuki. She sure is being herself. She's got that right. She really does. Yep. This was basically her stance in most interviews. She would rather she will always say that she hates sex and she would rather remain a virgin until she dies. When she was a student, she was apparently groped by on a train and then dug her nails into the guy's dick as hard as she could. The guy screamed and crushed over before escaping. Whether it's her classmate or her colleagues, she wouldn't hesitate to call out any of them for being a pervert if she caught them staring at her breasts or legs. She presents herself as a slightly provocated new heroine, perfect for the modern society we live in where men and women are equal. Some people think she is strict, too fastidious, and unapproachable, but she also has a lot of fans that adore her unique character. I am one of those fans, and even though I'm not rolling in money, I always buy the weekly Graver magazine when her photos are in it. Despite being a Graver magazine, her photos aren't erotic. They are beautiful and befitting of a news anchor, but she can't hide her large breasts and a killer body. That's why, even though I am too old to do things something like this, I use Yuki Kano's photos and pictures as fabric material every day. Yuki, I love you. And today, too, I'm staring at Yuki while jerking off and coming. Yuki! I feel happy and break into a smile as I call her name. The hot semen is welling up in my belly. And I take aim at one of her photos and ejaculate everything I have. What the hell? Yuki, my god, it's my angel Yuki. I admire her, and I'm rooting for her. Deciding on what I'm going to live for. Yuki gives me the drive to work hard. Working hard for such a woman. City. Yuki's going to be on TV tonight. That's why I need to hurry home. I rush out of work the minute I finish. Plan to jerk off to Yuki today, too. Phew, did I make it in time? I wonder. I made sure to record it, but sometimes I press the wrong button or get the time wrong, so I want to watch it in real time. And so while I'm not going so far as to run, I am walking as fast as I can. I get down the road near my home. On the other side of the street, I see a familiar figure, a slender, beautiful silhouette. It's so plain and alluring. It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it's Yuki. My Yuki. Oh. The urge to call out her name hits me. She's a little far away, but her body is stunning. She really stands out, so I can tell right away. Other people seem to have noticed her too, but she isn't a pop idol or anything. And it's obvious she is off the clock, so nobody tries to approach her. Hey, isn't that Kano, the encore? She's even more beautiful in person than TV. Yuki, her regular clothes are fashionable, more cool than cute. She looks great. She is so beautiful. Everything about her is perfect. I am so captivated by Yuki, and all that comes out of my mouth is a strange sound. I just stand there staring at her. What should I do? Should I try and muster up the courage to speak to her? Tell her that I'm a fan and I'm rooting for her? I don't think she would be that mad. If I asked for a handshake or a signature or a photo, she might refuse. Her age probably bans that kind of thing, and she can't do it for everybody. But if I just speak to her and tell her I support her and I think she's cool, then I'm sure it'll be fine. Kano-san. My heart is pounding, my body is shaking as I move close to her. Huh? I'm keeping a little bit of a distance between Yuki and myself, and I notice a young guy horizontally to her, also a few steps away. He is also walking while keeping his distance just as I am. What the hell? Is this punk a stalker? I've heard that female walkers get this a lot. It's hard to tell if Yuki had noticed the guy, but she is walking briskly in front of him. I feel anxious and need to protect Yuki, so I keep walking, but... Huh? Still keeping his distance, the man continues to the side of the road to where Yuki is and hails a taxi. After that, to my surprise, they both look around as they get into the taxi and leave. What on earth? There's no way that's her boyfriend, right? There's no way. It must be her older or younger brother or maybe a colleague. No way. It couldn't be a boyfriend, could it? Yuki. What the hell was that? Getting together in secret? What? A wave of anxiety hits me all at once, and I feel a pain in my chest. There's no way she has a boyfriend. I know that for sure, but... oh! I can't help but want to scream. I somehow manage to stop myself, but I can't stop shaking. I won't believe it. Yuki has a boyfriend? No way. This cannot be. A few days pass. I have now thrown myself into stalking Yuki full time. I make sure I don't get caught and I don't cause any trouble though. It's not good to be stalking, man. I get it, but all of this is so I can have peace of mind and support Yuki, of course. I also want to make sure she is safe too. To get information about Yuki, I jump through a lot of hoops. I pay a lot of money, manage to weasel onto a members only message board. I'm able to find out things like what area she lives and what kind of school she attended. I know this place is again for Uber fans, but the details are so specific. I use the information as a guide to walk around this whole area, and I find her house. It's surprisingly easy to find where famous people live. Now, if I hang around near her place at all hours of the day, I'll be sure to bump into her. Yuki. What I'm doing isn't exactly stalking. It may seem like it, but it's not. I'm working hard for the peace of mind of both myself and Yuki. If that's all it is, then there's not a problem. It's not like I'm going to sneak into her house or hug when she comes out. I'm not doing anything wrong. So that's why whenever I don't have anything else to do, I'm almost always monitoring Yuki. In some ways, I have a new purpose in life. I now have the ability to chase after Yuki, not through the television, but in a more personal way. I was about to say professional. Whew. Jeez, those large knockers, man. Those large knockers. And then the result of stalking led me to the conclusion that Yuki has a boyfriend. It seems his name is Towa. I think it's spelled Towa. Yeah, Towa, like toe, and with an A. People from my generation will probably think the name is a bit bizarre, but the guy is just as bizarre. She has a boyfriend. They have been dating for quite a while. They get along well and enjoy each other's company. They always have their dates at home, and that's about all I know. I have no idea what they think about marriage. I hear bits and pieces from their conversations at the front door, so I can tell that they've been together for a while, and they have like a stronger bond than most. They're like old friends. I let everything around me disappear and listen hard. Yuki's apartment building has an automatic lock. I slip inside right after someone enters. Listen at her door. When I do this, I can hear her moans. I wouldn't be able to hear them if I stood near the door. Oh man, but I can hear her voice if I press my ear against it. These are definitely sex moans. She's saying put it in and come for me. I hear that. Feels good. More I'm coming. Oh boy. In other words, that bitch doesn't hate sex at all. She isn't even a virgin. Far from it. She is a sex upset slut. All that about being fastidious and hating sex, say that she wouldn't do it because she hates it. Now she's actually told to change positions. Far from being too shocked to speak, the shock has sent me into a tailspin and it hurts to even breathe. I haven't even been listening in for that long, but she has already asked to change sex, which is after 3 or 4 times. What's worse, I can hear her fawning all over her boyfriend. What about how she presents herself as an actor? It was all made up. I've totally been done dirty. Not only me, but all of her viewers too. I can't trust this woman. I can't trust women anymore. They can all just go and fuck themselves. My life is over. It's so messed up that I can't recover from this. I want to screw every other single woman. Oh man, I knew it. Women just keep on deceiving me, and not only women, all the people I've ever trusted were liars. I'm just a pawn. They deceive and ridicule me, use me when it's convenient, and then throw me away just like one of those dispatch companies. I might as well die. I can't find any point in living. Yuki deceived me, and all my hopes have gone. Only death awaits. Well, how should I off myself? I don't want to be in pain. I just want to find a way to get over and done with. I could jump off a building or in front of a train. It'll be hard to get my hands on a truck that will kill me right away. So there's hanging, stabbing, drowning. The gas thing will be a pain and might cause trouble for other people. I can make up my mind to make my final memory of this world one where I climb on a mountain and freeze to death. I don't think burning myself would. There are surprisingly a lot of ways to die. Maybe I should do an internet search. Something painless, quick, and won't involve anyone else. When I'm thinking about how to die in a doze like that, I hear a sudden knock on the door. Huh? Not a doorbell. Doorbell ring, a knock, and at this late hour? What could it be? Thinking it straight, I move closer to the door and look through the peephole. Hey, Tutu-san, would you like to dream that every man has to come true? What? It must be a door-to-door saleswoman. She's wearing a hood, and the way she is talking nonsense like that makes her look pretty sus. I just don't think she is selling anything. I think she's just a crazy old bag trying to barge in on me. My rundown probably faces the road, so weirdos sometimes find their ways inside. Salesmen trying to sell cheap junk, religious folks, and the like. I've been watching you recently, and it came to me, well, this will be right up your alley. This invisible medicine. Invisible medicine? We were talking about through the door. I frowned without thinking. I knew it. She really isn't a salesperson. She's just a crazy old bird. But what does she mean when she said she was watching me? She was stalking me while I was stalking Yuki. What do you say? Do you want to try this medicine? If you're going to off yourself anyway, then why not try this first? It's expensive but worth every penny. If you're going to die anyway, then you might as well enjoy yourself. You can finally have your day. Ugh, she's right about me dying anyway. I had just gotten paid about and put the money in the drawer, but it's not like I'm going to need the money where I'm going. She looks pretty shady, but whatever. It doesn't matter whether I buy it or not. How much? Feeling somewhat careless, I opened the door and give almost all my savings to the woman, just like she asked. I'm not going to be taking it with me to the grave anyway. Instead of having random relatives taking it, then I'd much rather spend it on myself. Thank you, Tsubu-san. May it bring you happiness. After the mysterious salesperson leave, I gaze at the so-called invisible medicine that I had just purchased. According to the old woman, if I inject this, then I'll become invisible. The whole thing sounds insane, and I'm at a loss for words. Nevertheless, it's an injection. It could be bad quality drug, right? It was pretty expensive too. In short, the old woman was basically a drug dealer. The company must be using elderly people as a front for their operation to solicit clients. I'm almost at death's door, so I take the needle the woman gave me to inject myself. The measures are pure self-abandonment. There's no way it would make me invisible. How could something like that exist? But if I get high, if I become like one of those junkies, I'll be less afraid of dying, and my pain will fade. It might be just the thing I need in my current condition. And so, I've injected myself. I knew it. Nothing's happening. The needle stunned a bit, but I don't feel high or anything. This is the worst. That old bag of a con artist tricked me again. I've been had by a woman. She took all of my savings. The woman continued to ruin my life until the very end. Whatever. I sluggishly stand up without making a sound. I'm going to die. Well, how should I do it? Let's see, my rundown apartment is only 2 stories, so I can't really jump to my death. Throwing myself in front of a train will befall me going outside and walking for a while. The river and the ocean are also pretty far. I can fill the bath with water, but I don't have the balls to drown myself. Just have the water touch my head would be uncomfortable and wake me up. I'll just have to do it while using something around the house. There's nowhere to hang sturdy ropes, so to start with I'll use a knife. I can slit my wrist or cut my belly or throat. The most surefire place to cut or stab would be the throat or artery, but what if I miss the spot? I don't know what to do but head to the kitchen anyway and reach for a knife when I notice something. Huh? My hand is invisible when I reach out my hand. There's nothing where my hand should be. I'm touching the furniture and the wall, but there's nothing there. Flustered, I look down and see that I don't have a chest, stomach, or legs either. I have disappeared. The only thing I can see is my clothes. This can't be happening. I got crazily flustered and glance over at the mirror. I can see from here. Whoa, nothing. I should be able to see for myself. Here, I move closer to the mirror and nobody is reflected in it. That old lady was telling the truth. She gave me the real thing, medicine that turns you invisible. But I haven't completely disappeared. When I touch my body, I can feel my clothes and skin. Yep, I'm just invisible. Is this a dream? I try to wake myself up and clench my body, but I can't wake up. Everything feels so vivid. And this is real life, however you look at it. I can't help but moan from the shock, but I'm not afraid. I'm going to die anyway. So no matter what happens or what I do, there's nothing to be afraid of. Having the desire to die means that I can do anything. For better or for worse, this is the truth. Okay, let's do this. So using this invisible body of mine, I start to plan a certain kind of revenge. Using this invisible body as a weapon, I'm going to mess with that bitch. That bitch Yuki. Well, it's time. It is time. I sigh as I stand in front of the mirror. I'm shower fed, the dress and hair, makeup are finished. I'm good to go. It took longer than I had anticipated. But when I arrive at the TV station, I'm sure the silence will work for me more. But I can't come looking like a slob. The news anchors are early birds. They have a morning program, so they need to wake up and leave the house pre-dawn rather than early morning. My lover Toa Kichami is still asleep in bed, and I kiss him and whisper. I'm careful to be gentle so as to not wake him up. He's always a comes and fucks me late at night or early morning, even though he has work. My secret superstition is to touch his dick before I leave. Doing so will put me in a good mood for the rest of the day. Whoa! So that's why it's today's too. I just touched his dick and stroked it lovely. As they moaned just a few hours ago. This is inside me. Just thinking about it, it excites me. I like men and I like sex. I could spend the whole day roleplaying with my boyfriend. That's how much I like it. So that's why, when I'm a bit older, I plan to work as an independent encore, so having a relationship won't be an issue, and I can get married. I want to have sex with him every day. I want us to do it until we both collapse. I wanted to start his own business so we can be together all day and then. That's why I'm working hard as an actor so that I can make it happen. I want to save money and become well known and use my connections to help his business someday. Oh man. I did television studio begin filming like I do every day. They're the news where I don't need to pretend to be a man hating virgin, so in some ways I guess it's easier. But on the flip side, I need to adjust my expectations to fit the type of news, and that's pretty hard on the nerves. Tiring too. My expression, tone, vibe, depending on whether the news is good or bad, I need to present myself accordingly. It's in poor taste to read happy stories in a pessimistic tone and serious stories in a perky tone. And on top of that, men are idiots. So the instant I said that, I'm a virgin. My male support increased. But the women are more difficult. If I pander to them They may feel antipathy if I'm curt. They say I'm snobby and I can't be too cute or crude either. So to win, I need to get the woman on my side, and that's going to be the hardest thing. But once I have their support, I don't think I'll lose it. Being a so-called beautiful woman who presents herself as a virgin and behaves seriously is enough to get the men on my side. But woman, next time we'll all sit down and watch today's special feature. Alright everyone, that is the end of today's video. If we hit 10 likes for this video, I'll do another part again. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. So thank everybody for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.